She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show and happy Thanksgiving. I don't know what your plans are today, but I really would love to know what they are. I know what we do as a tradition for our family, and maybe what some of our traditions are might be helpful and beneficial for you. You know, here on the Dani Johnson Show, we help you to define what success looks like for you. Everyone has their own definition for success. When you follow somebody else's definition for success, it could lead you into crazy, horrible failure. You know what? For weeks, there's been all kinds of media that's been coming at you, trying to get you to not even take this day that represents gratitude, Thanksgiving, a time of coming out of maybe even a suffering, coming out brighter on the other side, a day that was to also celebrate adventure and crossing into new paths, pilgriming new uncharted territory, and experiencing new things. Doing something that was very, very scary when we look back to the beginning of the foundations of the United States of America. It was a very scary thing for these pilgrims to hop on a boat, leave everything that they knew behind, their farms, their everything, and come to a place they knew nothing about. But this is what they did, and today we get to celebrate what they did. And so what I've watched happen in the last 3 decades with Thanksgiving is really quite sad. Think about it. You've been marketed to heavily for the last few weeks about what's taking place that used to take place tomorrow, but instead it takes place starting tonight. I feel like our culture is being robbed of family time. I feel like our culture is being robbed from a very important cornerstone piece of success, and that is gratitude. I think most of our lives move forward way so fast that we forget to say thank you. We forget to have a heartfelt, sincere, real, authentic, sincere smile on our face and to actually say thank you for what you did. We do a quick, thanks, and that's it. So something that's a tradition in our house, and yes, do we pull out the spread? Oh man, do we have a spread? Oh boy, do we have some food. Too much food, and we eat it for about a week after it's all done. It's a feast of multiple different types of amazing recipes. And of course, don't forget my world famous $114,000 cheesecake that gets made every Thanksgiving that everyone's always looking forward to, especially me. I can't wait to have that in my mouth tonight. It's going to be amazing. You probably want that recipe. But anyway, something that we do is we gather around and we talk about what we are grateful for. Yes, as we're staring at all the feast that is looking at us when it's time to eat, we will have a large number of us in the kitchen holding hands and sharing one by one what we are grateful for. And it's a time of sharing, it's a time of listening, it's a time of conviction, and it's a time of tears for many of us because we look at all that has happened in our lives and even just this year, and we have so much gratitude that fills our hearts. Gratitude is something that you've got to point your mind to. It's not something that comes natural to any of us. In fact, in my personality in particular, a natural-born pessimist, a natural-born person who always sees things that are wrong, doesn't see things naturally that are right. I've had to teach myself and train my brain to be an encourager and to look for what is right and look for the bright side of things. Maybe has something to do with where I grew up or just the way I was born. Regardless, I refuse to stay in that place. So today, I want to hear from you. What are you grateful for? Do you keep a grateful journal? How has gratitude changed your life? Has it improved anything in your life? What has it done for your business? What has it done for the people that you work with? What has it done for your family? What has it done for your health? We know studies have been done about gratitude and how it can actually help you live healthier and longer, how it helps to reduce your stress, how it improves your sex life, how gratitude actually can help you make more money in the marketplace, can even get you promoted. Everyone loves to be around somebody that is positive and encouraging and thankful. There's no question about it. But I want to hear from you. Enough from me. I want to hear from you about what Thanksgiving means to you and how has gratitude improved your life. First, we're going to go to Colton, California with Karen Marino. Karen, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, thank you, Dani. It's definitely a pleasure, and I'm so grateful that I can be here on the show with you today. And thank you for allowing me an opportunity to share my heart. For me, Thanksgiving is really special. I love spending time with my family. but I have been in a place for most of my life where even surrounded by family and friends, I always felt alone. And this season in my life, I had really had to take a look into my own heart and realize that I was the reason that I felt alone. It was in my own heart. And I was convicted that I needed to truly be grateful for every single person who came into my life and not just see them as someone who's passing through or in my life for me, but to truly be grateful for who each and every one of them were and why they were in my life.
Wow.
And in doing so, I have found that I am surrounded by people who really do love me and care for me, and it's enabled me to love them back for who they are. And it's improved my business by increasing my clientele because now I truly appreciate them and what they do, no matter how big or small it is.
Wow.
It's improved my marriage. I'm married with 2 kids, and I see them flourishing because I truly appreciate them, even when things aren't going right.
Exactly.
I still am truly grateful for them in my life. And so it's truly changed my life and turned it around. And as a result, I no longer suffer from depression for feeling loneliness all the time.
Dang, girl, hold on. You've said a mouthful, man. My heart is pounding right now. Karen, what brought you to this revelation? This is wild.
Honestly, hearing your reaping and sowing, I had to take a look at my life and see what was going wrong. And I said, if I'm not feeling like I have friends out there, is it because I haven't been a good friend?
Yep.
And what do I need to do to change that?
Wow.
And that changed everything.
So where did you hear that teaching?
I downloaded your ebook, The First Steps to Wealth.
Yes. Wow. Oh my gosh. I am so happy to hear this, and I'm so happy to meet you on the phone. Seriously. So you literally heard about the book. How did you hear about the book?
A friend of mine who's in business with me told me I should check you out. So I got on your Facebook page and saw it and immediately downloaded it and started to read it.
Wow. And so that just one nugget inside that book, I'm blown away because, people read books and they do nothing with it. But I love that you asked yourself the question, if I feel lonely, if I have no friends and I don't feel loved, who am I loving? Who am I a good friend to? Because you saw that you're in control of how much love that you get to receive based on how much love you give. And it changes everything, Karen. So you went from depressed and battling with depression to being healed, set free, and delivered from depression by you taking action with giving what you want to receive. Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday, as far as, let's say, my favorite American holiday is certainly Thanksgiving. Because of that, it changed my life too. It absolutely changed how I viewed my husband. It changed how I viewed my children. It changed how I viewed work. It changed how I viewed my clients. I love that because when people are not grateful for the clients that they have and they're not grateful for the amount of, revenue that client brings in, whether it's a small order or it's a large one, or they give no referrals or they give a lot of them, when you treat every single one of them that they are precious to you and that they really matter to you, they feel that. They want to feel that from people. And just as, Karen, you were lonely, you know what you just, when you said that, I would be around my family and feel lonely, that I just had this huge revelation. That's probably why Black Friday exists. Is because a lot of people probably feel lonely. A lot of people fight with their family. They don't want to see their family. And it's an escape. Shopping is an escape. And people are sitting there on Thanksgiving Day, which is supposed to be a day of no television, but a day surrounded by whether your bloodline or the ones that you've adopted to be your bloodline, talking story, hearing how they're doing, loving on them. Let's play some games. Let's enjoy time with each other. Let's have a glass of wine together. Let's eat till we're full, and let's enjoy the land, the plenty that came from the land that we're even able to have all this food and to be grateful for the fact that we can even buy this food. Grateful that we have the day off. There's so much to be thankful for, but I really do. I wonder if this loneliness that has plagued the nation's families has caused them to easily be enticed into something like Black Friday and to be caring about shopping and can't wait for the stores to be open and lining up for hours or days beforehand to be first in line to trample over everybody else to get a good deal. Karen, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you for, one, listening to your friend who referred you to our Facebook page, two, getting a hold of the book. I didn't even know that you were a story out there. I had no idea that when I opened up your line that I would hear what I heard. And I bless you. I am so grateful for you. Thanks so much for sharing. We've got Barty from Dallas, Texas. Barty, welcome to the show. How has gratitude changed your life?
Oh, my gosh, Dani. First of all, I am so grateful for you. My first event with you, which was March the 8th of 2008.
First Steps to Success?
Hotel in Dallas.
Yeah. First Steps to Success in Dallas, Texas.
Yes, First Steps to Success. And you said something that just, profoundly changed my life, that, if you had 24 hours, what would you do with it? And about you cannot be grateful and complain at the same time.
That's right.
And the biggest takeaway was to be grateful with the small things.
Yes.
And you will be made ruler over plenty.
Yeah.
And since that day, I have used gratitude as the foundation for my business. I own a marketing and branding company, and the things that have happened to me in the past 8 years, I have not spent a penny on marketing, advertising, radio, TV, been on talk shows. All these crazy things have happened because I've used gratitude.
Yeah.
I actually use gratitude with social media.
Yeah.
Being grateful, saying thank you, making comments.
Mm-hmm.
What has happened to me recently has been so insane since First Steps in LA. Forbes magazine came to me and they said that we want you to write an article, a PR angle on how you use gratitude in social media.
Wow.
And about a year ago, I was in Website magazine. They wrote a story on me, how I've used gratitude with social media.
Wow.
Now being sponsored by American Airlines, all these crazy things are happening, and it's all because of gratitude. And I believe when you give, you get.
Yes.
But what I do daily, every morning, is I write the 10 things that I am grateful for.
Yeah.
I started this April the 4th of this year, and it's become like so much fun and a game. And I came from a very, very verbally abusive background.
Yes.
And so Thanksgiving to me is not the greatest holiday for me, but I realize that family doesn't have to be blood.
No, it does not have to be blood. And I love that we're in control of who we invite into our lives. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Coming up next, Dani will show you how to use Thanksgiving to supercharge your results for 2016 and beyond.
Friend, you know me. You know how passionate I am about my faith and the land of Israel. I'm so excited to tell you about something directly from the Holy Land. A good friend in Israel has teamed up with a good friend here in the U.S. to bring an incredible product that harnesses the healing power of the Dead Sea. Have you heard about Mud Zero? Face it, we may not like to talk about it, but some of us need help with removing unwanted hair, especially in unwanted places. Mud Zero is a solution for all skin types for men and women. Rub the mask on your skin, let it sit for 5 minutes, wipe it off, and you have smooth skin without the irritation. Then follow it up with a Depi lotion daily to reduce hair growth by up to 50%. Best of all, you can feel good knowing that over 10% of the profits goes directly to King's Ransom to feed the orphan and the widow. Go right now to mudzero.com and take advantage of an introductory offer they've created just for us. mudzero.com. Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
This is the Dani Johnson Show.
You literally can shut success off from your life by not being grateful. You see, the best success book ever written really outlines for us on how to succeed. And one of the most powerful principles that are in there that I've been teaching in the marketplace for 15 years, actually 25 total, is to be faithful with the little things. Being faithful with the little things makes you ruler over much, much more. Being faithful with the little things means you are grateful for the little things. It means that you celebrate those little things. There's some that I've been teaching at our advanced training seminar called Creating a Dynasty for, I've been teaching this one particular thing about having a journal, and it's a gratitude journal. We call it a Sprouts journal. You would have to understand the whole teaching to understand the Sprouts part of it, but I'll just say gratitude. That's not the fullness of it, but that's part of it. And it's writing down every night before you go to bed and first thing in the morning, 10 things that you are grateful for. It spurs you on with an attitude that causes you to believe, and it spurs on hope, and it also opens you up to all kinds of fabulous opportunity and things that can come your way to cause your life to be one that stands out as a light on a hill for all the world to see. Just as we were just hearing from Barty from Dallas, Texas. I mean, it is amazing how you can turn your entire life around regardless of where it is that you come from. I'm going to open up Barty's line one more time. She was beginning to talk about where she came from and being in an abusive family, and that your family doesn't necessarily have to be blood. But Barty, I want to challenge you on something, because I come from a family like yours where there's been a lot of abuse, a lot of history, a lot of things, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. And it's easy for us to be grateful for our business when our business is flourishing. It's easy for us to be grateful for our health when our health is flourishing. It's easy to be grateful for all the wonderful things that are happening in our life, but we also have to be grateful for all the things that are not great in our life. And when you are grateful for the things that are not good, you're able to see a completely different perspective and the purpose for those things in our life. Like the abusive family members. There's a purpose for that. And there's a purpose with you, with them. You see, they don't know you as the woman that was called by Forbes. They don't know you as the success you are today. They don't know you as that at all. Who do they know you as? How do they see you, Barty? Think about that. They don't see you as a rip-roaring success. They see the failures that you've had. They love to put you down for those failures. So you might think, okay, what purpose does that have? Life is not all just the good stuff. Life is a full picture of those that hate us, those that love us. That's life. And I believe for myself that when I get around family that doesn't see me as Dani Johnson, right? The success story that was on Oprah and, Secret Millionaire and blah, 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 the hundreds of television shows, Fox and Friends, and the list goes on, right? They don't see me as that. In fact, some of them go, she's too big for her britches now. She thinks higher of herself than she ought to. And you know what? I need that in my life. I'm grateful that I have friends and family members in my life that see me from my past and don't see me in my current. Because it challenges me, to love. It challenges me to treat them the way I treat all those people who treat me good. It challenges me to dig deep and to be patient, encouraging, loving strategically. It encourages me to humble myself and see myself through their scope. It also encourages me to be compassionate on them because I know that out of the mouth, the heart speaks. So I welcome those family members, close and abroad, who do not see me as the media sees me, but sees me as the human being that they've known me my whole life. So I'm grateful for that. I love being around them, to be honest with you, because if I try to exalt myself or put myself on any kind of pedestal, looking at my success, looking at my fanfare, looking at my Facebook page, I'm in trouble. I'm in huge trouble. If I think that 350,000 likes on my Facebook page somehow should make me feel good, make me feel successful, I'm in huge trouble, enormous trouble. I'm heading for a crash. So I really love being around people and places that think I'm absolutely nothing, because that really is helpful and beneficial and pulls better out of me than those who speak highly of me. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First steps to success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
It's that day where we get to pig out with no guilt. Unfortunately, I do that far too often. But this is the day. This is a holiday out of all the American holidays, because I celebrate all the Hebrew holidays. But out of all the American holidays, this is the holiday of holidays for me personally. And I hate that it's being robbed with shopping. I hate that it's being robbed with deals, and that people aren't even showing up, and Thanksgiving means nothing anymore. I think it's almost going to disappear at some point. But we've made it a point to make this the chief holiday of holidays. And we've told our married children, it's like, listen, you can go spend Christmas with the other side of the family. You can go spend, whatever the other holidays, although I really want them home for Passover. But this is the one holiday that we are going to gather together as a family. And then, then your spouses, they can have you for all those other years. And please think about Passover too. Come home for Passover, because we don't celebrate Easter. It's a pagan holiday, but we do celebrate Passover. But this one is powerful. And why? Because it is a cornerstone. Thanksgiving, okay? Thanksgiving, having gratitude, having an attitude that is grateful is very powerful. I've seen it save marriages. I've seen it save businesses. I've seen it flourish businesses. Just this one little cornerstone ingredient in your character is so powerful that it will raise you up to high levels of leadership. It will help you to be a better parent and a much better spouse. Lord have mercy. This one definitely has helped me be a better spouse. I feel bad for my husband. And I know he feels bad for me sometimes too, because we've not been always the nicest people to each other. But oh boy, we're on a roll right now. Oh gosh, we are on such a roll. We're about 200 days without a single argument. We're keeping track on a calendar. Okay, this is a grateful calendar, by the way. We have a calendar. We started it a year ago, and starting 200 days ago, we haven't had a single argument, a single moment of strife, a single moment of tension, not a little spat, not a cross word, nothing. Like, we have honored each other. We've walked in kindness, in encouragement, and edification, rather than records of wrong, being not patient with each other, and not being kind. And so we started keeping this calendar. It's awesome. It literally is a grateful calendar. And every day that we do good, we get an X on that day. And the days where we screw up, we have a little screwed up line in the hour of which that we screwed up. And so we haven't had a single squiggly line in 200 days. Oh my gosh, it's been absolutely glorious. So being grateful is really powerful. How do you be grateful? Be kind, compassionate, edifying, and encouraging. All of those things lump into the gratitude position. Find good in all those around you and good in all the situations that you're in, including the bad, nasty, disgusting ones. So we're going to the phones because we're asking you, how has gratitude changed your life, or are you grateful? And if so, what are you grateful for? We've got Mike from Houston, Texas. Mike, welcome to the show.
Good, Dani. Thank you very much. I'm amazed that I got this opportunity. My story started 49 years ago. I was born with spina bifida. Grew up on crutches, very active, drove my parents crazy. About 5 years ago, because of a bladder surgery, transitioned into the wheelchair, something that I swore for years that I would never do. And it's actually afforded me a better lifestyle. I was starting to atrophy. My knees were starting to atrophy in my 40s. I was not able to walk the distances. I wasn't able to do the exercise. I wasn't able to be social. Wasn't able to be outdoors like I like to be. This has afforded me a brand new lifestyle and quality of life. I grew up in a verbally abusive household on one side, as did you and another guest. Put down constantly.
Yeah, gosh, I can't imagine.
Reminded of what I didn't do and say right, corrected, on and on and on. And, I am grateful for 49 years that our Father has given me.
Yes.
And I've been told many, many times that I inspire people with my attitude.
Yes.
And it's a very humbling experience. It's very humbling to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Facebook a lot. I forward a lot of posts to my Facebook friends list. And it's amazing when somebody comes back and says, thank you for this, or you blessed me today, or I love your posts, or and it's happened as recently as 2 hours ago, and it puts me in tears every time.
Yeah. Mike, first of all, I am blown away by what you're saying. I'm so blessed to talk to you. I can't imagine having a disability, being a kid born with a disability, and being told by your parents what they told you. Not doing this right, being condemned. I could not imagine. You see, I wasn't born with a disability other than my brain.
Well, I got that too.
Yeah. So, other than my brain disabilities, my reading disabilities and stuff like that, but I can't imagine a handicapped kid being put down like that. That just blows my mind. And then to hear you say that you fought the wheelchair and you didn't want it, and yet, look, now you've embraced it and that you're grateful. You get to smell the outdoors again. You get to do more things now and be more social, and that you could see that, hey, this was a blessing. This was not a curse. This is a blessing. And again, you're inspiring me. You're inspiring other people today, because many people are born with all their limbs working just fine. And they take it for granted, and they do nothing with their life. They do absolutely nothing. And they sit in a pile of blame and resentment and bitterness and unforgiveness and no understanding, because they've completely closed themselves up. And then here's you that just said, I'm grateful that my Father has given me 49 years on this earth. And that you're using your life to inspire and encourage other people is incredible. We all have something to give, and you have found that something that you can give because something's been given to you, and that is life. And you don't take that for granted. I am so grateful to talk to you, to meet you over the airwaves like this. I am so grateful that you took time to call in, because I know that this needed to be heard today for people to stop and realize we have so much, and yet we ignore it. We don't value it. And here's the scary part of not valuing what we've been given. We will lose what we don't value. We will lose it. But we spur life on in it if we breathe life and speak life and are grateful and edifying and encouraging about it. And that way, not just for ourselves, but for others that are around us. Mike, thank you so much for sharing your personal story. Thank you for being transparent. Thank you for being so humble and telling us about your life. We've got Patty Gale from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Dani. Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Wasn't that powerful what Mike was saying?
Yes, it really was.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here just kind of overwhelmed a little bit, because it was very, very powerful. Yeah. And I truly appreciate him sharing. It was so awesome.
Yeah. So what about you? has gratitude changed your life? How do you use that important element in your day?
Well, it's interesting. I have a gratitude journal that I use. And over the years, I've been, I'd used it on and off and wasn't really consistent. And then I myself had a little bit of a health scare at the end of July where I was literally forced to do nothing, like absolutely nothing, for about 7 to 10 days. And it really got me thinking about a lot of things. I think it's easy to be thankful about the big things.
Yeah.
So I got to thinking, okay, well, what about the little things, So I started, I've always loved paper and journals, so I started a gratitude journal that I've been writing in every day. And even just the little things, like before I do anything else, because it just totally sets the tone for my day. Things like having a warm blanket, a blanket to keep me warm.
Yes.
When I open up the fridge, I have food, or I can just open up the faucet and I have clean water.
Yes.
Or, when my daughter comes home and says she hasn't had an awesome day at school,
she's at school.
Things.
She's at school.
Right. Yes.
She is getting an education. There are millions of kids all over the globe that do not have that privilege. Isn't that amazing?
Exactly. And for me, like you were saying before, there's always going to be things that happen. But when I look back and I look at these little things that there's no matter what's going on, for me, just setting the tone for that day, there's always going to be something to be thankful for. Yeah. And when those big things do come around, to be even more blown away with gratitude. And I have found personally for me that it has just totally changed my mood for the day, no matter what's coming at me. Whether it be my friends, my family, my business associates, it just totally changes the tone. And
it's amazing how it gives life and it gives us energy and gives us vision. And I find for myself, it's the little things. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this.
Have you ever lost everything? When we come back, Dani will show you how to lose everything good in your life and how not to. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Dani Johnson. The most common question I get usually are from people who are trying to juggle their life. They've got kids who are involved in all kinds of activities. They've got business or their job, finances, trying to get out of debt, plus all their church activities and all the volunteer activities. And they're pulling their hair out going, how do I juggle this all? Man, I once lived just like that until I learned Time Secrets. Time Secrets showed me how to be able to cut my hours from 100 hours a week that I was working down to 20 hours a week and tripled my income as a direct result with what I learned. Time Secrets also showed me how to get my priorities in order, which healed up my marriage. And I became a mother that I was proud of versus becoming the mother I didn't want to be. And so if you feel like your world is running around in all kinds of different circles, you can fix that. Call 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880 for Time Secrets.
Helping you become all you were meant to be. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
I don't know about you, but I have found myself to be one in years past to just take a lot of things for granted. Food. My health, transportation, cars, my house. And in my years where I was it's almost like I was ignoring, I was neglecting giving honor where honor was due. Those things started to be taken away from me. You see, in the equation of success, your personal definition of success, not society's definition of success, because let's look at through the scope of what society says success is. It's that new car, it's the new bigger house, right? It's the new clothes, it's the new shoes, the new brand name bags, it's all the extra trinkets that we get to buy and gadgets we get to buy and all those extra electronics and all the freedom, the places we get to go, right? Travel, all that. So they set the bar of what you should be thankful for way up here. So it kind of makes your current house that you're in look like nothing, and your current car that you're driving look like nothing, and your current job seem like it's useless, and your current friends that you don't even want to be around them, right? Because what society sells us to be success, causes us to take for granted what we have already. But it's once you lose what you have already that you wished you had not lost it. I remember when I was in a wheelchair. I was paralyzed from the waist down. My body wasn't working. Like my organs inside weren't working that were anywhere from the waist down. It was horrifying. And I remember going, wow, I thank God often that my legs work now, where I never thanked him before that my legs worked. I just completely took it for granted that my legs worked. I'm thankful that I can feel because they were paralyzed. I had no feeling at all. Not only could I not walk, but I couldn't feel. And now I can feel. I can feel when my husband rubs my thigh. I can feel that. That's a blessing to feel that. I can feel it when my grandkids run up and hug my legs. I can feel that, where I couldn't feel that for a couple of months. And oh boy, I longed to have that sensation. Something so small, something so simple. But that gratitude, that thankfulness gives honor where honor is due. And we got to be careful because people who are grateful are people who get opportunity. There are people who succeed. People who are ungrateful are people who lose. It's really simple. It's Thanksgiving, and we are talking about Thanksgiving, truly being thankful. We've got Wayne Meadows from Eugene, Oregon. Beautiful place over there, by the way. Wayne, what is it that you are grateful for, or how have you used gratitude in your life to help you?
Thank you, Dani. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just definitely something that, you kind of get hit in the face with some different challenges that just rock your world. And, in God's Word, it says to praise Him in all things. Yeah. Well, that's not always easy, but I've had definitely experiences where, I did that, and I just continued to do that and set aside anything that would hinder me from doing that.
Yeah.
And, that weight will go away.
It's so
It'll
true.
be lifted. You could shake it off.
Yes. It is absolutely so true.
I was going through separation and divorce. That's exactly what I did. And it gave me it kind of puts you in a place where it can allow you to kind of see things through God's eyes.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I know that through trials, through suffering, through pain, whether it's physical pain or it is emotional pain, and I'm so sorry to hear about that terrible, terrible, disastrous struggle that you had. But I'm also so very grateful what you learned in it, and that is in all things to praise Him, to be thankful. And you see clearly all that He has and is continuously doing for us, and it builds our faith, and it gives us hope, and it spurs us on with life, which is something that is a gift. But oh boy, it's so easy to put ourselves in a dark place. I'm really proud of you, Wayne, that you didn't allow yourself to stay in a dark place, but instead that you used Thanksgiving to spur you ahead and move you forward. Thanks so much for sharing that incredibly humble story. We've got Eugene Pratt from Michigan. Eugene, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, there.
Hi.
Glad to be with you.
Glad to have you with us. So what about you? How do you use gratitude in your life? What does it bring for you?
Gratitude brings a great feeling, spirit, mind.
Yeah.
It's something that you'll replace.
Yes.
It brings a joy in my life
Yes.
that I can transfer to others.
Yes.
It's something that, someone did for me, something somebody said to me. It's something that is special, and it just gives me an awe, a joy in my heart.
Yes.
And I pass that gratitude on to others because it's the joy that has been instilled.
Yes. I could not agree with you more. It's amazing to me all the things that gratitude brings. It does bring joy. It does bring strength. It does bring hope. It brings faith. It spurs faith on. I believe it brings wisdom, as we were just hearing from Wayne, that he was able to see from a completely different perspective in the midst of the hardest disaster of his life, of suffering through a divorce, separation from his wife. I mean, it does. It brings wisdom. It brings understanding. I believe it humbles us. I really do. Being thankful humbles us. And joy. Come on, we know what the best success book ever written says about joy. The joy of the Lord is our strength. What brings that joy is thanksgiving. So don't just stuff your face with turkey today or whatever else it is that you're going to be stuffing your face with. Don't just do that. But do this. Maybe gather the family together and all the friends and everyone that's going to be surrounded at the table, and let it be a time of people, each person, having the chance to be heard about what they are grateful for. And just watch how the faces change. Watch how the hearts begin to be uplifted. Watch the encouragement that's in the air. You can help change a life today, not just with turkey. And yes, recognizing the things we should be thankful for in whatever country it is that you're watching this show from. But even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, you might be in Australia, you might be in Latvia or Rome watching this program. Regardless, what you can do is you can take this thing of gratitude and you can have it be a cornerstone in the family or in your office, where you work or at your church, if you have one. And let it be something that glues everybody together, builds stronger relationships, and helps everyone move through some really difficult and challenging times. Yeah, I think that's probably a really good thing to do today, because it's way too easy to live our lives so fast that we do not use this key component that brings us joy, that strengthens us, that brings us wisdom, that helps us to understand things better, that brings us hope, that builds our faith. All of those characteristics are hugely important for you to succeed. So let's start with being thankful. This is Dani Johnson. We will continue with more right after this.
Don't go away. The next segment might just change your life. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
I just heard this amazing story. One of our clients had written us telling us that they had used job domination and unlimited success and has absolutely exploded their career. He said, Dani, I don't know where I'd be today without job domination and unlimited success. Listen, do you want more recognition from your coworkers? Do you want to be recommended to people all over the world? Do you want to be somebody that is highly sought after? Listen, if you're in a dead-end place where this gentleman found himself, but then learned new strategies and changed everything in his work life, and obviously this has resulted in higher bonuses and pay raises, you're next. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of Job Domination right now. 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880. Job Domination. That's what you need. It's time for you to dominate the job market and break through the rut that you're in.
What multimillionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
I hope you enjoyed what we talked about today. You need some strength, you need some encouragement. Come on now, you found the solution right here. If you're depressed, if you feel heavy burdened, if you have all kinds of chaos running around all over your life, if you feel like running from everything that's in your life, your family, from work, from everything, all the problems, running is not the solution. But starting to be thankful for every little thing right now. This is, by the way, this is the key thing that had me no longer be homeless. I was homeless 25 years ago, coming up here real shortly, right about now, actually, 25 years ago. I was a pessimist, and I was just depressed, and I was blaming and taking no responsibility and condemning, and I just had my head so in a dark place that I almost took my life. And it literally, what changed is I began to find one thing I could be grateful for, one thing that I had going in my life that was a good thing. And it wasn't even something that I liked. I actually hated the thing, but other people liked the thing. So I was like, that's one good thing. And then I added another the next day. And then I kept adding more things that I was thankful for. It dug me out of a depressing, suicidal spout that I was in, and it helped me to no longer be homeless. So within a week or so, 10 days of changing my attitude, I was in my own apartment. Within a year, I had made my first $250,000. By the end of my second year, I made my first $1 million. Okay, so friend, now use my business to just take care of the poor. That's what we do, which, by the way, a time of Thanksgiving, rather than going out into the marketplace, rather than doing that, rather than going to Black Friday, why don't you take the money and why don't you give to someone who actually needs it? Instead of getting all caught up and trampled in the sales, why not say, you know what, I'm not going. I'm going to spend more time with the family. I'm going to focus more on what I'm thankful for. And the money that you had set aside to blow, then do this. Go to kingsransom.org right now. And you're like, Dani, I knew you were going to say this. Do it. Come on. Come on. You've got more than enough. Go to kingsransom.org right now. And you've heard about the project we're working on. We're building 1,000 homes for extreme poor people in Central America, meaning they have no home, they have no food, they have no water. Okay, every single day they live by faith. And we are building them a home. Not only a home, but we're putting them in business, and we're teaching them agriculture, and we're bringing them food that they will grow and that they can sell and that they can feed their family. And so we're teaching them other businesses as well. And we're building schools in each one of these villages that we're building. Come on, what a worthy process. What a worthy cause for you to be a part of, and let the whole family be a part of. In fact, challenge everybody at the table today about that. Let's do this together. We're building 1,000 homes. If you go to kingsransom.org, you'll see build a home. We're building 1,000 homes. Click on that. It's right there at the top of the homepage. Click on that. It's going to take you to what we call a page where there's a whole campaign going on. And we're about to close up that campaign and restart a whole nother one. You can join us on that adventure. Give $1, give 10, give 1,000, give 100,000, whatever it is that you got, give it. God bless you. Have an awesome rest of the Thanksgiving holiday.
Did you hear that last segment? Do you know someone else who needs to hear it? Go to DaniJohnson.com, find today's show, and share it online. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've always wanted.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success.